Hi guys, welcome back. December is here, and we're officially trading carols for coiled tension. As the nights get colder, the streaming services are turning up the heat with a heavy lineup of pure, adrenaline-soaked suspense. Forget the cozy holiday fare. This month is all about psychological mind games, shadowy conspiracies, and high-velocity chases across Prime Video, MGM Plus, and Peacock. Settle in, turn the lights down low, and prepare your watch list. These are the 11 best thrillers to watch in December 2025, and they're built to keep you guessing until the very last frame. Number 11. Kill the Jockey. Remo Manfredini, once a rising star in the racing world, is a man crumbling from the inside out. Drained by addiction, haunted by debt, and swallowed by the dangerous circles he runs in, his life has shrunk to a blur of pills, fear, and fleeting escapes from reality. Every day feels like a desperate sprint, and he's always a step behind. But everything shatters the night his world collides with a violent reckoning. One brutal moment, sudden, disorienting, almost surreal, rips him out of the life he's been stumbling through. It sends him spiraling into a dark, fever dream journey that's part escape, part rebirth, and part descent into the most fractured corners of his own identity. As Remo drifts through this strange, dangerous landscape, he becomes entangled with mobsters, ghosts of his past, and the shifting shape of the man he might become. The lines between reality and hallucination blur, and every step pulls him deeper into a world where nothing feels solid. Not his name, not his memories, not even his face in the mirror. Kill the Jockey is a raw, hypnotic psychological thriller about a man trying to outrun the wreckage of his own life. It's gritty, surreal, and unsettling in the best way. A story about identity collapsing under pressure and the terrifying, beautiful chaos that rises from the ruins. It asks a sharp, lingering question. If you lose everything that once defined you, who are you supposed to be next? Number 10. Pixie. Pixie O'Brien has always treated life like a long, mischievous prank, drifting through rural Ireland with a wicked smile, a sharp mind, and a talent for slipping out of trouble before it ever catches her. She moves through these quiet towns and empty roads like someone too smart for the world around her, hiding grief beneath charm and ambition, beneath chaos. But her carefully balanced world tilts when a criminal job she sets in motion spirals violently out of her control. One wrong move, one unexpected twist, and suddenly she's no longer the one pulling the strings. She's the one being hunted. Now she's stuck in a stolen car with two clueless boys, a bag full of stolen drugs, and a trail of very dangerous men closing in. As they speed across the Irish countryside, Pixie finds herself caught between old wounds and new threats. Gangsters in collars, priests with guns, and a past that refuses to stay buried. Every mile forces her to confront exactly how far she's willing to go to escape the life that's been tightening around her like a snare. Pixie is a wild, stylish crime romp about a young woman running from grief, running from danger, and maybe running from herself. It's fast, messy, darkly funny, and brimming with sharp edges. A story about outlaws, bad decisions, and the strange freedom that comes when everything in your life blows apart at once. Number 9. The Rhythm Section. Stephanie Patrick is wrecked. Once an ordinary woman with a predictable life, she's now stumbling through her days like a shadow, drowning herself in drugs, hookups, and any distraction that keeps her from remembering the plane crash that killed her entire family. A crash she was supposed to be on. But her blurry, self-destructive spiral snaps, awake the moment a journalist shows up with a truth that hits like a detonator. The crash wasn't fate, it was an attack. And with that revelation, the numbness she's been hiding behind burns off instantly. Dragged into a covert world where nothing is clean and everyone has an agenda, Stephanie finds herself forced into a brutal kind of training under a former intelligence operative who doesn't care whether she breaks or survives, only whether she can follow through. From city backstreets to quiet safe houses, She's pushed into situations she's wildly unprepared for. But rage and purpose start to replace the chaos. The rhythm section unfolds as a gritty revenge journey about someone who isn't built for violence but steps into it anyway. Messy, raw, unpredictable. It's a story about chasing the truth when you have nothing left to lose, and how dangerous an ordinary person can become once they decide they're done running. Number 8. Project Almanac. David Raskin, a brilliant but painfully overlooked high school inventor, is teetering on the edge of frustration. Surrounded by half-finished gadgets and unfulfilled dreams, his world is a loop of science fairs, pressure, and the quiet ache of wanting a breakthrough that actually matters. His days drift by in a blur of wires, deadlines, and the feeling that time itself is slipping through his fingers. But everything shifts the moment he discovers a strange blueprint hidden in his late father's belongings. A design that shouldn't exist, a machine that shouldn't be possible. That single discovery snaps him out of his slow-burning routine and drags him straight into a dangerous experiment that bends the rules of cause and effect. Suddenly, David and his tight-knit crew find themselves dancing on the razor's edge of time, chasing second chances, fixing old mistakes, and tasting the thrill of rewriting their own lives. But each jump leaves a mark. Each tweak sends cracks running through the world around them. And as the consequences stack up, they realize they're not just playing with time, they're unraveling it. Project Almanac is a fast, jittery sci-fi thriller about ambition, temptation, and the chaos that comes from touching something far bigger than yourself. It's frantic, youthful, and dangerously addictive. A story asking one sharp question. If you could rewrite your past, how long before it destroys your future? Miles is not your usual bright kid. He's a storm wrapped in small shoulders. Growing up in a quiet, postcard-perfect suburb, he moves through the house with an eerie awareness, his sharp mind shining in ways that feel less like talent and more like a warning siren no one knows how to interpret. But the fragile calm of this family life shatters the moment his behavior starts bending into darker, colder shapes. Strange words slip from his mouth, unsettling actions ripple through the nights, and suddenly the home that once felt warm becomes a maze of dread. His mother watches all of it unfold with a rising panic, realizing that brilliance can sometimes carry a shadow too heavy for any child to hold. As the mystery behind Miles deepens, the film drags you into a chilling spiral. Therapy rooms, midnight whispers, and the feeling that something ancient and violent is clawing for control. Every step forward pulls his parents deeper into a psychological fog where science, fear, and the unexplained collide. The Prodigy is a tight, unnerving psychological horror that digs into the terror of a parent watching their child slip into something they no longer recognize. It's moody, tense, and packed with that slow creeping dread that crawls under the skin. Number 6. Public Enemies. John Dillinger walks into the story like a man already half myth, half danger. He moves through 1930s America with a swagger sharpened by survival, drifting from safe houses to smoky dance halls as if the world owes him a place at the table. Every city he touches feels charged, jittery, waiting for the next headline with his name stamped across it. But that restless, adrenaline-charged life slams into a new kind of threat when federal agents rise with a colder, more calculated edge. Their pursuit isn't loud or flashy. It's patient, methodical, and merciless. Suddenly, Dillinger's world of fast cars and quicker escapes starts colliding with a system built to suffocate men like him. The chase becomes less about the next heist and more about the walls inching closer every day. Along the way, the people drawn into his orbit, partners who trust him blindly, enemies waiting for him to slip, and a woman who sees the man behind the legend, are all forced to navigate the fallout of his choices. Every connection feels fragile, stretched thin by danger, desire, and the looming sense that time is running out. Public Enemies plays like a thunderstorm rolling across a bruised America, slick, stylish, and electric with tension. It's a crime drama soaked in atmosphere, shaped by obsession and driven by two men racing toward a collision neither can avoid. The film asks a haunting question beneath all the gunfire and glamour. What's the price of living fast when the world is determined to slow you down? Number 5. The Italian Job. Charlie Croker is the meticulous architect of the impossible, a planner who sees every angle and anticipates every countermove. His crew is a carefully curated team of specialists, a safe cracker with hands of silk, a technology whiz who can breach any firewall, and expert drivers who treat gravity as a mere suggestion. They share a singular focus, pulling off jobs deemed untouchable. Their target, a massive score locked away in a high-security vault. The plan leads them to the historic, beautiful streets of Italy, where the environment itself becomes their biggest obstacle. Every detail, from the timing of traffic lights to the structural integrity of ancient bridges, must be accounted for. With their customized fleet of Mini Coopers, small, fast, and agile, they initiate a daring sequence of events designed to paralyze a major city for mere minutes. The operation is a complex symphony of chaos, relying on technical genius and split-second precision. The Italian Job is a stylish, kinetic thriller, showcasing a mastery of execution and some of the most intricate vehicular choreography ever put to film. It's about the thrill of the perfect plan coming together. Number 4. Everest. Rob Hall is the steady commander of the impossible, a mountaineer who reads the mountain the way a chess master reads a board, 3 moves ahead, always calculating, always aware of the cost of a single misjudgment. His team is a hand-picked roster of climbers, a mailman with iron resolve, a seasoned guide who knows every contour of the ice, and determined adventurers whose reasons for climbing are etched deep beneath their quiet exteriors. They share a single, unwavering ambition to stand on the roof of the world. Their destination is not merely a summit, but a hostile kingdom suspended above the clouds. The path leads them through a landscape carved by avalanches, sculpted by winds older than civilizations. Here, nature is not scenery. It is an adversary. Every step demands precision. Every breath is a negotiation with thin air. Even the slightest shift of weather can rewrite the entire mission. Armed with oxygen tanks, steel crampons, and a discipline forged in training camps, they progress upward through icefalls, ridges, and the infamous death zone, a realm where the human body begins to betray itself. Coordination becomes survival. Timing becomes salvation. On Everest, the environment is both the puzzle and the trap. The ascent unfolds like a high-stakes ballet of endurance, courage, and calculation. Ropes are anchored with surgical care, ladders are crossed as if walking on the edge of existence, and every climber must trust the man ahead of them with absolute certainty. Everest is a sweeping, elemental thriller, less about conquering a mountain and more about confronting the razor-thin boundary between ambition and vulnerability. Number 3. Blown Away. Jimmy Dove is the embodiment of controlled precision, a man who has built his life around dismantling chaos one wire at a time. In the bomb squad, he is the quiet maestro, steady hands, sharp instincts, and an almost supernatural sense for danger humming beneath the surface. His team trusts him implicitly, a young prodigy eager to prove himself, seasoned officers hardened by years in the field, and technicians who treat every explosive device as both a riddle and a threat. Together, they form a unit defined by discipline, courage, and the constant awareness that one mistake can redraw the skyline. But the equilibrium shatters when a new presence begins haunting Boston's streets. A demolition virtuoso with a personal vendetta and a mind wired for destruction. His devices aren't random hazards. They're meticulously engineered signatures, each detonation a message aimed straight at Jimmy's past. Suddenly, every call-out becomes a race against a brilliant adversary who understands the psychology of fear as intimately as he understands circuitry. As the bombs grow more elaborate, the city transforms into a labyrinth of tension. Bustling harbor docks humming with unease, brick-lined neighborhoods holding their breath, and quiet back alleys charged with the threat of sudden ignition. Every location becomes a battleground where timing, nerve, and precision decide who walks away. Blown Away is a high-voltage thriller built on rivalry, obsession, and the haunting weight of unfinished history. It's a story where strategy is survival, where each explosion pushes two men closer to an inevitable confrontation, and where the true conflict lies not in the bombs themselves, but in the past they were designed to resurrect. Number 2. Die Hard. John McClane is the reluctant warrior of circumstance, a street-sharpened NYPD cop who never asked to be a hero, yet keeps finding himself at the center of storms built by men far more ruthless than he is reckless. He arrives in Los Angeles carrying nothing more than a worn badge, a stubborn sense of duty, and the frayed threads of a marriage he's trying to stitch back together. But fate has other blueprints. A towering corporate fortress becomes the stage, its glass corridors and steel bones turning into a labyrinth of danger. Inside, a precision-crafted team of intruders operates with military calm, men who treat fear like a negotiable currency and hostages as leverage in a grand design. Every move is calculated, every demand razor-sharp. McClane, barefoot and outgunned, becomes the unpredictable variable in their perfect equation. Using instinct instead of strategy, grit instead of gadgetry, he turns office floors into battlegrounds and ventilation shafts into shadowed sanctuaries. Every step he takes feels like a gamble with gravity, survival, and sheer luck. Die Hard is a high-wire thriller forged in tension and defiance, a story where one man's stubborn will collides with a machine-like criminal operation. It's not about unstoppable force, but about resilience, resourcefulness, and the raw thrill of refusing to surrender when the odds are set in concrete. Number 1. The Da Vinci Code. Robert Langdon is a scholar of symbols, a man who reads meaning in the shadows and deciphers history in the quiet spaces between ancient lines. His mind is trained to detect patterns where others see only chaos, and every symbol, every engraving, every hidden mark feels like a doorway only he knows how to unlock. Beside him stands Sophie Neveu, sharp, intuitive, and driven by a personal history she barely understands. Together, they form an unlikely alliance. Two minds drawn into a riddle that stretches across continents and centuries. Their pursuit is not of treasure, but of truth. A truth encrypted in masterpieces, concealed in architecture, and whispered through the legacy of secret societies whose fingerprints remain invisible to ordinary eyes. Their journey begins in the echoing halls of the Louvre, where a single, shocking clue sparks a chain of revelations. Each new symbol leads them deeper into a labyrinth of hidden meanings, ancient conspiracies, and coded messages embedded in the world's most revered art. Paris becomes a sprawling puzzle box, where every landmark hides a fragment of a larger equation. The Da Vinci Code is a cerebral chase, part historical enigma, part high-stakes thriller, fueled by cryptic puzzles, relentless pursuit, and the intoxicating promise that the greatest secrets are always hiding in plain sight. It's a race against time where intellect becomes the ultimate weapon, and every revelation pushes them closer to a truth powerful enough to reshape belief itself. And that wraps up our list. 11 thrillers perfect for December's long, cold nights. If one caught your eye, let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more sharp, curated recommendations. Thanks for watching, and stay thrilled.